Module Overview. The HIPAA Privacy Rule, implemented in 2003 under Title II of HIPAA, is the cornerstone regulation governing the use and disclosure of protected health information, PHI, by covered entities and their business associates. This module is structured to educate you on legal definitions, patient rights, disclosure permissions, and limitations. Provide detailed examples of permissible versus impermissible disclosures. Clarify the minimum necessary standard, authorization processes, and de-identification rules. Build competencies in patient communication protocols, data release policies, and patient consent management. By the end of this module, you will be equipped with the tools and knowledge necessary to safeguard PHI, support patient empowerment, and ensure full organizational compliance with the HIPAA Privacy Rule. In-depth content breakdown. 1. What is the HIPAA Privacy Rule? The Privacy Rule establishes federal protections for individuals' health information and sets boundaries on the use and disclosure of that information without patient authorization. It applies to all forms of PHI, whether oral, paper, or electronic. Key goals of the rule include ensuring that individuals' health information is properly protected, allowing the flow of health information needed to provide and promote high-quality healthcare, empowering patients with rights over their own health information. 2. Who must comply? Covered entities, CEs, healthcare providers, e.g. hospitals, doctors, clinics, health plans, e.g. HMOs, insurance companies, healthcare clearinghouses, business associates, BAs, any person or company performing services on behalf of a CE that involves PHI access, e.g. billing services, EHR vendors, legal consultants. These entities are legally obligated to comply with the privacy rule and to ensure contracts, BAAs, exist between CEs and BAs outlining responsibilities. 3. What is PHI? Protected Health Information. PHI refers to any individually identifiable health information held or transmitted by a covered entity or business associate. PHI includes data such as names, addresses, dates of birth and death, social security numbers, medical record numbers, health insurance details, biometrics lab results, scans, treatment history. There are 18 specific identifiers that classify information as PHI under HIPAA. 4. Patients' rights. Under the Privacy Rule, patients are granted significant control over their health information. Their rights include right to access their health records, right to request corrections to inaccurate information, right to receive a Notice of Privacy Practices, NPP, right to restrict disclosure in certain scenarios, right to request confidential communications, right to file complaints without fear of retaliation. Covered entities must comply with these rights within a defined time frame, usually 30 days for record access. 5. Use and disclosure of PHI. The Privacy Rule allows PHI to be used or disclosed without authorization only in specific situations, such as for treatment, payment, and healthcare operations, TPO. To the individual who is the subject of the information when required by law, e.g., for public health or judicial proceedings, for law enforcement under specific circumstances, for research purposes with IRB or waiver. All other disclosures require written authorization from the individual. 6. The minimum necessary standard. This principle requires that only the minimum necessary amount of PHI be used or disclosed to accomplish the intended purpose. It is one of HIPAA's core safeguards and applies to internal employee access, business associate access, third-party disclosures. Exceptions include treatment-related disclosures where full access may be justified. 7. Notice of Privacy Practices, NPP. Covered entities must provide patients with an NPP document explaining how their PHI will be used, their rights, the entity's responsibilities, procedures for filing complaints. Patients must sign an acknowledgement of receipt of the NPP. 8. De-identification of PHI under HIPAA. Data can be de-identified by Safe Harbor method, removing all 18 PHI identifiers. Expert determination method. A statistician certifies the data is no longer identifiable. Once de-identified, the information is no longer considered PHI and is no longer subject to HIPAA. 9. Documentation and record-keeping requirements. Covered entities must maintain documentation of NPP distribution, patient authorizations, privacy training, internal policies and procedures, complaints and responses. These records must be retained for a minimum of 6 years under HIPAA law. International Accreditation Alignment Standard Relevance CPD, UK. Patient Rights and Consent Management Practices, CEU, USA, Canada. Privacy Rule, Interpretations and Application, ISO 27001. Access Control and Data Minimization Principles, GDPR, EU. Lawful basis for data processing, subject access rights, Joint Commission, U.S. hospitals, NPP, and disclosure accountability.